It's great to introduce our company Omics Group. Omics Group serves the scientific community in its growth, development and maintenance. Omics Group did successfully organized 150 international conferences worldwide and operate in 300 open access journals with the support of 35,000 editorial board members and 3 million readers. The basic reason behind organizing these conferences is to enhance the productivity of scientific research. Omics Group has started its journey with a single stand that conferences and the scientific research should be accessible to all the generations throughout the world. Well, today we are here for our first Indian event in this year, that is Pharmacognosy 2013. I'm very happy for its success. Looking forward to organize more enjoyable and productive events in India.
I am going to talk about bioactive natural products from Western Ghat. Western Ghat is home to more than 500 plant species with 35% endemic. And out of 21,000 plant species, 3,000 plant species are officially documented medicinal plant, but traditional practitioners use more than 6,000 plant species, and these plants have ethnomedicinal status. So only small part of plant biodiversity is utilized for medicinal purposes, and still smaller fraction is studied using modern phytochemical techniques. These plants listed in Ayurveda Materia Medica is 560, while a number of plants having confirmed therapeutic properties and yielding clinically useful compounds is around 700 species. I am giving here some phytochemical analysis which we have carried out in our group for last 6-7 years, I will say. So I have put here some plants. So my point is, once if you are working on a plant, we should have a broader approach. We should isolate all possible natural products and look for their use. So to illustrate this, I am giving here some phytochemical analysis which we have carried out in our group for last 6-7 years, I will say. So I have put here some plants like this genus. So genus Anisocylus is represented by two species. From one, Anisocylus verticillatus, we have isolated 8 compounds with 3 new natural products. Of these, 1 new natural product, 2 new diterpene diterpenes and 1 phenolic have shown anti-TB activity with IC50, 35, 20 and 20 microgram per ml. So from another Lamiaceae plant also we isolated 2 compounds, although they were known. They showed a good anti-TB activity, this and gorosulic pentacyclic acid. And this oil also showed very good, essential oil showed good mosquito larvicidal activity, and this oil can be used as one of the component in mosquito control product. So my point is that when we go for isolation or when we look at one plant, you have to look at that it is a plant which is producing diverse molecules. Let us isolate all possible molecules and find use to them. So suppose we are looking right now maybe for cancer, and tomorrow we go for obesity or something completely different. Whatever we have might be useful, and we should keep all these molecules in our repository where people can use them as a reference samples, even as a trash molecules. So their NMR or LCMS, yesterday we had very good talk about LCMS library also for de-replication. So these molecules will have use. So my point is this, so let us not do biocide-directed fractionation. Let us do natural product library approach. Let us have extract library. Let us have a herbarium library. Let us have natural product library, which will be useful for many application and many products, including drugs. Thank you.
That was a nice talk, and you told a drug that could inhibit HIV.
Yes.
So did you really did that work?
Yes, actually, no, we have a.
No, not.
Not I myself. I am a phytochemistry person. So I am having a project with NARI, National AIDS Research Institute. And sir, what you were just mentioning, for drugs for AIDS, we are working on that, and that is ICMR DBT joint venture. So we have to come up with drug very fast. That is our mission actually. So that Dr. Smita Kulkarni from NARI, she did that work. And some of these anti-HIV work also was done at NCCR.
Indeed, a very important and useful presentation. Besides giving a whole lot of different extracts and isolations which you had done. My question is very simple. Was the pharmacological activity planned before the isolation, or was it after isolation that you decided that we will be going?
That is again my point. Sometimes extract doesn't show activity because either that active compound may be low or something is suppressing its activity. So what we usually do, we test it at extract level, and even if it is not active at extract level, we go one step ahead. We do broad separation, and that stage we again check activity.
Okay. Like you said that there were few compounds with which you were actually trying for anti-cancer, anti-fungal, but they gave a mosquito repellent activity.
Yes.
What made you think that you should
No, because
evaluate it?
lavender oil, it is very strong.
Okay.
Lavandula, this is an endemic species actually. So we thought that being, and actually what we do, this is our practical solution. Whatever in our lab or my collaborators, whatever bioassay can do, we get it done. So we have a very strong entomology group in NCR. But same time I suggest same thing. I have compound, but somebody has some other application. So we have to share our compounds with that. Everybody cannot do everything. So this is very important. You have your compound, share with people, share as a marker, share as a biochemical marker, or even as a trash molecule, doesn't matter. But it will help to take work ahead faster.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joshi, for a wonderful presentation. I would like to request Dr. Joshi to please collect her certificate from our chair and co-chair.
This international conference is hosted by Omics Group, and the topics that are going to be deliberated are pertaining to medicinal plants or herbal drugs. Under the dynamic leadership of Dr. Simi Babu, Omics Group is doing human service to the cause of science, more so health sciences. This conference has provided a very sound base for the development of herbal sciences in India, and this development will certainly have a well-focused approach in years to come. Thank you.
I'm very happy to be with you today in this big event with Omics Group. It's called Pharmacognosy 2013. So it's a big event. I'm having so much fun with a lot of good information with a lot of scientists, honorable scientists, and thank you very much, Omics, for this organizing, and thank you for all people of India.
Good afternoon, chairpersons and all the people who have gathered here on the occasion of the International Conference and Exhibition on Pharmacognosy and Phytochemistry and Natural Products. At the outset, I would like to thank the organizers, Omics Group, for allowing me to do the presentation on evaluation of green tea for its nootropic activity. The objective of the study was to investigate the potential of green tea extract in the management of cognitive decline, to validate the claim that memory enhancement enhances sensitivity to pain, to evaluate the marketed product made at Rasayana and compare it with green tea extract. Memory. The memory process involves three types. You have the sensory memory, the short-term memory, and the long-term memory. The sensory memory is the recognition of information received through any of the senses that we possess. The short-term memory is also called as the working memory. It's a temporary storehouse of memory. And we have the long-term memory, which allows the storage of virtually an unlimited data. The memory process involves three steps. The stage one is the encoding, wherein which we perceive and categorize information received from the sensory memory. The stage two is the consolidation stage, where it moves the information from sensory to short-term memory and to long-term memory if needed. The third stage is the retrieval stage, wherein which there is accessing of information that has already been stored. This slide depicts how various anatomical parts of the brain are involved in the memory process. Yeah.
Genetics may influence the memory power.
So we have not used genetic animals, but then we have tested in normal animals.
Which one is more easier to do research of memory for the animal or for the patient or volunteer?
Well, I guess human memory testing would be much more complex. That's my take on it.
Presentation was very informative for all of us. Thank you so much for such a great presentation. I kindly request you to please collect your certificate from our chair and co-chair.